Anderson. I'm Amber. This is Kenise, and Evan is filming behind you.
All right. So I am the moderator. Nia is our connector. Amber is our illustrator, and Kenise is our
summarizer. Hey, how's it going? Okay, I'm going to be summarizing chapters 1 through 7. All right. So basically, chapter 1 was giving us some information about Okwon and his father, Unka, and basically how he didn't really like his father, showing that he's not that well. Chapter 2 was talking about how Okwanko was trying to get yam seeds, to grow yams from a person. What's his name? Where is he? There. So now we'll be going on to chapter 3. Chapter 3 was talking about how Okwanko didn't have a very good start in life, as most other men did. So basically he had to get yam seeds from another man. And once he did that, he got around 800 of them. And during that time he was planting them, the seeds were not growing as well as they should have been. All right. Chapter 4. Chapter 4 was basically talking about how Ukon was, he has very strong chi and all that. And also how he struck his wife, one of his wives, on the Peace Week. Alright, so basically chapter 5 was talking about how there was the festival of the New Yam, which was 3 days away. Okwanru he shoots one of his wives. She was mocking him in a whispering voice. Also, pause it.
Finish chapter 5.
There was a wrestling match in chapter 6, which was between kids of 15 years and 16 years of age. One of them was the son of Okwan's friend, and he won the match, and the matches keep going. And then the women began to talk to one of the other priests. They talk about how a girl who has passed away is now to stay. And at the end of the chapter, a guy named Okwa won the match against Ikizu and is to represent the village wrestling. Okay, so 3 years have passed since Ifukun has been under Uncle's care. He has bonded with his family and has been taken as for a son of Okwan because he is like a son he never had. One who worked well and wasn't lazy, like Newu. Although he has changed too, because Newu has learned to be manlier throughout the years, now just to please his father. Alright, that's it.
Okay, so these are our pictures. As you can see, this is a picture of Bakanwo. And this is the book. These are the yams. These are just like the setting of the village, the country of Africa, and Africa, the continent of Africa. The book Things Fall Apart, a picture of Akano, picture of Bunoka, a cartoon, the setting in which it takes place in their culture, some yams, which they use as a very great resource.
So I was the moderator, and I prepared a few questions about the first few chapters of the book. So Amber, my first question, I'm going to direct this towards the group, but I'm going to keep the camera on you. Why was Okanwo so different from his father in what he did?
He was different because his father had a lot of money in debt, and he was really lazy, and he didn't really have any, like, a job and stuff like that. He just wasn't anything in life. He was just there. But the son, he was really popular in his village, and he beat the cat. People respected him. He was successful, and he just wasn't like his father. He didn't owe anybody in debt, and he was something in life. He just didn't do anything. He worked. He had a lot of yams and stuff.
I like that idea. Kenise, what do you think?
If I can add on, it says here, page page. It says here that Okwanko despised everything that his father liked, meaning like basically he despised being in debt, despised a lot of things that were there.
That's a very interesting take on things.
Thank you.
Are you waiting on me? Okonkwo was different from his dad because his dad was lazy. Okonkwo was not like his dad. Let me go back to chapter 1 where they talk about that a lot. 1 second. Also, Okonkwo's dad owed a lot of debts to people. For example, Okonkwo's friend was asking Onoka to return.
It's not playing. Okay, so right now we will be talking about the book Things Fall Apart. So I am Evan, the group's moderator. This is Kenise, and this is Amber. Our connector, Nia Anderson, is not here today, so we will be continuing without her. So my first question is, why is Okonkwo so different from his father?
Well, let me answer that for a question for you.
All right.
The reason why I think
Please speak up to the camera.
the reason why I think Okwan was so different from his father was because basically his father was basically, let's just face it, trash.
He was trash.
He didn't pay any of his debts. He even told somebody that he didn't pay his debts, and he thought he was because he has the marker, the chart.
Yes, he got lines.
Yeah,
Right.
Salads, yes. Also, Okonkwo, he doesn't even he's strong,
Very strong.
Incredible Hulk strong. Yes, very. And that's also what. See, his father was never strong. His father could barely even plant. He was always so, what's the word? Lazy?
Lazy is a great word.
Yeah, lazy.
It's a very interesting take on these things.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and that I also feel like because of Nkonkwo's upbringing, that he wanted to strive to be better than Unoka. Amber, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I agree
Okay.
with everything. He was lazy. He was a bum. He didn't take pride in anything. He just sat around all the time. And I guess,
He was a procrastinator. He did not pay his debts on time. He just pushed everything to the back. He didn't take care of his family, and he was terrible. Really.
Also, when you think about it, Umka, his father, he was basically living life to the fullest because he was living it with no regrets. He didn't care.
Oh well.
Where on Okonkwo's side, he was basically all about work, it's all about money, it's all about respect.
I never thought about it like that, Denise.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that. Amber, how do you feel?
I just think he was lazy. He didn't work hard enough.
All right.
All right.
So we already talked about this a little bit, but we're just gonna go over it again to get more. You know what I mean? Like deep. So we're gonna go deeper into this. How did Okonkwo's upbringing affect his life?
He wanted to be not like his father.
All right.
So he did everything in his power to be better than his father, not make the same mistakes as his father did. And he disliked everything that his father was, so he was just the opposite. So he was.
Not have said it better myself.
Me neither. Totally agree with the fact that he disliked everything that his father liked, and basically probably even disowned his own father.
Probably.
More than likely, he did disown his father. We'll find out more about that later in the book about his father.
Yes.
No, I said why.
All right, now we're back to our discussion. We've moved for charging purposes. So let's see here. That was the theme of the book. Yams. It says Unoka. No, Okonkwo has hella lambs. He has hella lambs. Yams, not lambs.
Yes.
So what do yams really represent in the book? I have a question.
All right. Well, the yams basically, the yams are the king's, like, you know what?
Like the gold.
It's like You don't have it?
You gonna quote it? You gonna quote it?
Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Alright.
Well, okay, so what's something about how the person with
Here
the
it
most
is.
yam? Oh,
Yam, the king of crops. A man's crop.
all right. So a man's cotton whoever has the most yams is I guess the manliest.
Yeah.
They're the
They're
most
like top of the clan.
top of food chain.
Yeah.
Like that's what they used to not characterize, but like no, like defining who you are. How many of like how many yams you have is like who you are. Like if you have a lot of yams, then you're considered like rich, right? If you don't, you're like poor and don't have a lot. And what's his name? Did not have a lot of yams.
Okay.
He was poor.
Yes, that is correct. All right. So continuing, we're going to ask a question. In the first chapter, it was Ukonwo's strength was I guess a big. It was stressed a lot about how he beat the cat and how whenever he walked, he was only on his tiptoes. So I guess how how does that feature help to characterize Ukonwo?
Well, you see, in my opinion, when he beat the cat, because the cat apparently his back has never touched the ground. That's why he was called the cat. So to be able to beat somebody like that, you could tell that it took a lot of strength to take him down.
Anything? All right. I think that's good. Now
We are recording, Kennedy.
Yeah.
As far as connecting goes, we decided to do the feminist/gender theory. Now I will be talking about what's going on with the feminist/gender theory. We actually came to the conclusion after reading Things Fall Apart that they have a masculine society. This means boys are more important than girls, and boys are superior, and girls are nothing. So let's take some quotes from the text because that's always good, and we always like to get some evidence from the text to really back up what we're saying. Number 1, we have, quote, Okonkwo ruled his household with a heavy hand. His wives, especially the youngest, lived in fear of his temper. That came from chapter 2. This is basically saying that Okonkwo rules, and you also see that he has more than one wife. Not 1, not 2, but 3. So that just means that they don't really care about women. It's not a big deal to have more than one wife. They can be used as anything. Let's use another quote. Quote, he treats, his mother and sisters worked hard enough, but they grew women's crops like cocoa yams, beans, and those were girl crops. Meanwhile, yams is the king of the crops, and therefore they're considered male crops. That came from chapter 3. So this basically shows that there are many different types of levels. So a yam crop would be for the boys, and then girl-like crops would be cocoa yams. Then the last quote is, sit like a woman in chapter 5. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Girls sit different than boys. Girls aren't better than boys. It's just double standards. Boys are better, girls are less. And that's a problem.